All right, let's jump back into this CES deep dive. So much to talk about, so many gadgets. You really sent over a ton of stuff this time.
Yeah, it's CES. You know how it is.
Day 4, and still going strong, right?
Exactly.
Okay, I have to ask you about this one.
Uh-oh. Which one caught your eye?
The Nekagita Fufu?
The what?
Yeah, it's like this robotic cat. It sits on top of your mug
Yeah.
and like blows on your drink to cool it down.
Okay, I vaguely remember seeing that one, but honestly, I just glossed over it.
Right. It's like, what problems is solving?
The baby food problem, apparently.
What?
Yeah, the article mentioned it. The engineer who designed it had trouble cooling down his baby's food.
I mean, I get it. Lukewarm coffee is the worst. But a robot cat.
I think this one falls squarely in the only at CES category.
Totally agree. So speaking of weird food gadgets.
I was going to say that electric spoon thing.
Right. The one that, what, makes things taste salty?
Yeah, it uses like a low-level electrical current.
I don't even know how that works.
Me neither, but they claim it actually works.
And the idea is that it could help people eat healthier.
Right, like if you can trick your taste buds. You could cut back on actual salt.
Less sodium, but still, all the flavor.
Exactly, that's the idea.
Okay, from strange spoons to giant gaming consoles.
You mean the Acer Nitro Blade?
That thing is massive.
I saw pictures. It's like twice the size of a normal handheld.
You need like a backpack to carry it around.
Well, they are really pushing the power on these handhelds now.
Like full console-level gaming on the go.
Which is impressive, but who wants to hold that for hours?
Right. Some serious ergonomics issues there. Maybe they'll release a neck brace accessory.
Now that's a CES gadget I'd buy.
All right, so we've had weird, we've had huge. Now let's talk about rollable.
The Lenovo.
Yeah, the ThinkBook Plus.
I have to admit, that one is pretty cool.
It's like the future of laptops, right?
Imagine going from 14 inches to almost 17, just like that.
And it's OLED, too. The colors must be amazing.
I wonder how durable that rollable screen is, though.
And what about the price tag?
Yeah, that's the big question with all this new tech.
But hey, it's CES. Gotta have those wow factor gadgets.
Definitely.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Talk about AI.
Pervasive, as always.
This year, it feels like they're putting AI in everything.
You're telling me I saw a demo for an AI-powered spice rack.
No way, what does that even do?
Measures out your spices for you.
Like based on the recipe or something?
Yeah, it's basically a Keurig for spices.
That's something.
I'm not sure I'd trust an AI to season my food.
Right. What about those little adjustments you make based on taste?
Exactly. Cooking is an art, not a science.
But hey, maybe it's good for beginner cooks.
Could be.
And speaking of AI, what about this AeroCat Tower thing?
You mean the cat tower that purifies the air?
Yeah, it's like a smart cat tower.
A built-in pet monitor, I read.
So you can watch your cat breathe in clean air all day long.
It's getting harder and harder to tell what's a joke at CES.
Seriously.
But it does show how much pet tech is growing.
People love spending money on their furry friends. Okay, from robot cats to luxury gadgets.
What, did you see that $450 phone charger?
The toaster-shaped one.
Yeah, the one with the swappable battery packs.
It's like they took every buzzword and crammed it into one product.
Instant charging, battery swapping, sleek design.
And a price tag to match.
I guess if you have money to burn.
But hey, at least it looks good on your countertop.
Right next to your robotic cat.
Exactly. Speaking of comfort, did you see the Razer concept?
Oh, yeah, the gaming chair.
The one that heats and cools you?
Like a climate-controlled throne.
Seriously, where does it end?
I guess when you're fully immersed in the metaverse,
Yeah,
you need that perfect temperature.
makes sense. Okay, this next one is a bit of a curveball.
Hit me.
It's an iPad bundle,
Okay, that doesn't sound too strange.
but it's called In Case of Death.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like digital legacy planning. What happens to your online accounts when you die?
That's a topic most people don't want to think about.
I know, but it's important, right?
Definitely, especially with how much of our lives is online now.
This iPad thing helps you manage all that.
Interesting. I'd want to learn more about that.
Me too. All right, let's end on a lighter note.
What do you have?
Disney Plus announced HDR10 Plus support for Samsung TVs.
Finally, right.
I know, everyone's been waiting for that.
It's about time they upgraded the picture quality.
Now we just need flying cars and we're all set.
Give it time, give it time.
Okay, so from robot cats to digital death planning.
This has been quite the CES journey.
We've only just scratched the surface.
And there's still so much more to talk about.
So let's take a break, recharge our batteries, and we'll dive back into this CES madness in the next part.
Sounds good. I mean, it is wild, right? All this tech, like everywhere you look.
Yeah, where do we even start?
I don't know, it's almost overwhelming.
We talked about like AI in the kitchen and, cat towers. But what about AI, like for our brains?
Oh, are you talking about that Omi thing?
Yeah, the one that like mounts on your head.
And it's supposed to read your brain waves or something.
That's what they're saying.
I'm not sure I'm ready for that level of tech.
Me neither. It's a little too sci-fi for me right now. But speaking of sci-fi, did you see that flying car?
The Xpeng Aero HT. Yeah, that was crazy.
It's like half van, half helicopter.
The EVTOL, actually.
Oh, what?
Electric vertical takeoff and landing.
Okay, that makes more sense.
So yeah, it can drive like a normal car, but
Right.
then it can also just like take off.
Straight up into the air. That's insane.
I mean, it's still just a concept,
yeah.
but they are actually testing it out.
Imagine no more traffic
You can
jams.
fly over them, right?
The future is wild.
Speaking of the future, that rollable laptop from Lenovo, that's something that could be here soon.
I know, right? Flexible displays are going to change everything.
I imagine phones that fold out into tablets.
Or like a TV that you can roll up and take with you.
The possibilities are endless.
And they said those Samsung TVs with the micro LEDs, they're supposed to last forever.
Like 100,000 hours or something.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But I bet they're going to be super expensive.
Oh, for sure. Anything new like that?
Early adopters always pay a premium.
I'll just wait until the price comes down.
Mita.
Okay, so we talked about AI for our homes, our pets, even our brains,
What about just like AI in general?
like Siri and Alexa and all that.
Yeah, those are getting pretty good, actually.
I use them all the time for setting reminders and stuff.
And controlling your smart home devices.
It is convenient.
But it's also a little scary how much we rely on them.
True. What happens when the AI starts making decisions for us?
That's a whole other conversation.
Oh, for another deep dive, maybe. But for now, let's stick to CES.
All right, what else caught your eye?
We talked about a lot of tech, but what about entertainment?
Yeah, CES is always big on gaming and movies.
I mean, that Acer Nitro Blaze is basically a portable gaming PC.
And with cloud gaming, you don't even need a powerful device anymore.
You can just stream anything.
It's pretty amazing how accessible gaming has become.
And VR is getting really good, too.
The new headsets are insane, like super high resolution.
It's like you're actually in the game.
And with haptic suits and stuff, you can even feel it.
The metaverse is coming, whether we like it or not.
What do you even think about the metaverse?
I don't know, it's still kind of confusing to me.
It's like a persistent virtual world where you can do like anything.
Work, play games, hang out with friends.
All in virtual reality.
It sounds cool, but also kind of dystopian.
That's the thing, it has a lot of potential. But it could also go very wrong.
We'll have to see how it all plays out. This CES deep dive is making my head spin.
I know, right? So much information.
We've covered a lot of ground, but we're not done yet.
There's still more to unpack, more to analyze,
So let's take a quick break and come back for the final part.
where we'll try to make sense of it all. All right, back at it.
My brain is full.
Tell me about it.
So we saw rollable screens, AI butlers, even cars that can fly. I mean, where does it end?
And like, we haven't even talked about the metaverse.
Right, that's a whole other level of crazy.
But I think it all points to one thing.
That's that.
The line between like real life and digital life. It's getting blurrier and blurrier.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
And it's happening fast, too.
It's almost like science fiction becoming reality.
Exactly.
I mean, think about it. We talked about those VR headsets,
They're
right?
the ones with like crazy high resolution and haptic feedback,
It's almost like you're actually in the game.
or in another world entirely.
And then you have the metaverse on top of that.
Where it's not just about gaming, it's like a whole digital society.
With its own rules and economy and everything.
It's mind-blowing, really.
And a little scary, to be honest.
Oh, for sure. Like, what happens to our real lives if we're all living in the metaverse?
That's the big question, isn't it?
And one that we don't have an answer to yet.
But it's something we need to think about before it's too late.
Absolutely.
All right, so we've talked about all this amazing tech. But it's not all sunshine and roses, right?
Definitely not.
There's some serious downsides to consider.
Like, what about privacy? With all this data being collected, who has access to it?
And what about AI bias? We're already seeing examples of AI systems that discriminate against certain groups of people.
And as AI gets more powerful, those biases could become even more dangerous.
So it's not just about the cool gadgets and the wow factor. It's about thinking critically about the impact this technology will have on our lives.
And on society as a whole,
Yeah, we need to have these conversations now.
before it's too late to course correct.
That's a good point. So what can we do? As individuals, I mean.
I think the most important thing is to stay informed. Read about these technologies, understand how they work.
You don't just accept everything at face value.
Right, be critical, ask questions.
Like, who benefits from this technology?
What are the potential downsides?
And how can we make sure it's used for good?
Those are the questions we need to be asking.
All right, so that's CES 2025 in a nutshell. A whirlwind of innovation, excitement, and, yeah, a little bit of fear.
It's the future coming at us fast.
We've seen some incredible
And
things,
some things that make you scratch your head.
but one thing's for sure.
The world is changing, and technology is driving that change.
So buckle up, everyone. It's going to be a wild ride.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
We'll see you next time.